Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another webinar with Employ Mum and Employflex. We're absolutely delighted to be here again today, and today we have the fabulous Louise Kane Buckley with us, and she's going to be telling us how to Canva. So I myself use Canva daily, actually, but I'm sure I'm only using about 1/10 of what I could be doing with it. So I'm really looking forward to hearing about all the tips and tricks that Louise has for us today. So just a little bit about us. We started off as Employ Mum 5 years ago. We were primarily about flexible work for parents at that point. I myself was a mum with 2 small kids, and we moved back from France to Ireland. So I sought flexible work. And we recently branched out then to Employflex. And we offer recruitment services, specializing in flexible work. And we also offer training and coaching, and we run these webinars every week. So Louise has had a lot of different businesses. She has gone from Baghdad to Kinsale, as we say. And, she's been a business mentor and a business owner for over 20 years. And she's built up lots of different websites, and she's also been using Canva for 5 years. And she uses this to make some really beautiful graphic design images and videos as well. So she's going to share her tips with us today. She has her business in Kinsale called Kinsale Health Hub, and she is a naturopath and a nutritional therapist. So she'll be telling us a little bit about her business as well here today. Just for housekeeping, Louise is going to share her screen and share her knowledge with us. And if you have any questions as she's going through her presentation, you can pop them in the questions and answer box. If you hover over the bottom of your screen, you'll see that there. And we'll get to the questions after our presentation rather than breaking up her presentation. So that's it from me, and over to Louise, and she'll be taking it from here. Welcome, Louise.
Thanks, Karen. Okay, so hello everyone. As I talk into the void, we won't see the questions and answers until later, but do throw your questions in while you have them. Some of them may be answered as we go through things. I'm going to try and keep this as simple as possible, which is quite difficult for me. I tend to go off on tangents. So I'm hoping Karen is going to also jump in and just keep me on the straight and narrow and tell me to slow down. I'm a very fast talker. So I'm going to start by sharing screen now, and we'll start the presentation.
Just to let people know as well that this is being recorded, if people can't keep up with Louise, and we'll be sending a recording to everybody afterwards as well.
Cool. Okay, so I actually designed this in Canva to make it more fun as well. So Canva is something that I have used for a long time. And it's something that I really love to use. It's making my life a lot easier, which is what I want to come and get across to you. My kind of aim for this presentation is to just give you confidence to play. Okay, so you know that the reason that I can create what I can create today is because I've spent 5 years messing around with it and getting a lot of things wrong, and messing up and cursing it just as much as you probably are as well, and still am, to be honest, because nobody's perfect. So a little bit more about me. Karen gave a nice introduction to me. Yeah, my name's Louise Kane Buckley. If you're trying to place the accent, which is what most people try to do when they first hear me talk, I am British by passport. I was born in Baghdad to a Scottish dad and an English mum, and then we moved to Hong Kong. So I grew up predominantly in Hong Kong, which is where the funky, weird international twist to the accent comes. But I am married to an Irishman, and he's from Kinsale, which is what brings me here now from Hong Kong. We've been here 3 years. So I've set up a business in London. I was in London for 16 years as well, and that's where I trained. So I set up a business in London, and then we swiftly moved to Hong Kong when I had my kids. And so I set up another business there. And then I've set up 2 businesses here, my own business, Lula Natural, and now my health and wellbeing centre here with my co-owner, who is head to toe massage therapies, Tracy McCarthy, who's also on the call. Hello, Tracy. We run the Kinsale Health Hub now in Kinsale. So we actually opened that in October just last year. So I'm in the same boat as you guys. We are all trying to change direction. I've been mentoring small businesses for so long now, starting off as a personal trainer I'm an actress also by training, so I'm very good at improvising and changing direction, reading situations, reading people, and I've got a lot of empathy. And I've got a lot of confidence talking to people. So that helps me when I'm mentoring. So if there is anything that you do want support with, even though you're not in the same industry as me, I'm really passionate about supporting small businesses. As a small business owner, I mean, it's a very lonely world out there, especially at the moment. So, you know, like, I'm very happy for you to get in touch. I genuinely want to support and help you today. I actually get no financial benefit for doing this class, either from Canva itself, even though it might not appear that I'm selling Canva, but I'm not getting any monetary benefit from that. It is genuinely looking to help to support you. I do believe in collaboration. I do believe in supporting people in the same industry as you, because there's enough business out there for everybody, and I only want people that are right for me, and I want the people that are right for you to be able to find you too. So that's one of the reasons why I'm passionate about sharing this stuff for you guys, and I'm so excited to do that. I've always been self-employed. I was an actress, so self-employed, then selling yourself, and getting a lot of no's. But getting creative with how you sell yourself, and getting able to change direction and to become the role that they're looking for. So I've always done that. I've always built my own websites. I've always done all my own graphic design and my own marketing, mainly because I'm a little bit stubborn and I'm a little bit of like a control freak, and I have no patience. So I'm not very good at waiting for other people to do things for me. I'd rather figure them out myself and get on with it. So that's kind of where I am and who I am and why I'm here to help you. So I want you guys to just fill out a little poll for me if you can. I'm really interested to know, there should be a poll there for you, where you are and what it is that you're looking for. So if you could just have a little look at these questions and fill out for me, that's really useful for me to get an idea of who's on this call and how far to take things. And you're doing that in your droves, which is awesome to see. It's very, very exciting to see it all moving and shaking. So it's quite a good mix. Lots of you love Canva, which is fab. And I'm really happy to share how I'm using it, and I'd love to hear how you're using it as well. Have a free Canva account, wondering if it's worth paying for. So good, there's a lot of you on there, and hopefully you're going to see a lot of benefit of paying for Canva through this class. Try to use it, not got your head around it. Not too many of you, but you know, enough of you for it to be you know, confidence is today what we're going to give you to play with it. Have heard of Canva but not tried it, and some of you have never heard of Canva before signing up for this. That's fab, because hopefully this is what you've been looking for to help promote your business. So great, so that's pretty much all of you voted there. So the majority of you love it and want to see how other people are using it, and then after that it's wonderful, it's worth paying for. So hopefully you're going to get a lot out of today, which is great. Thank you for that. Okay, so let's move on. So I've got a little challenge for you. I don't know about you, but whenever I'm in a webinar and my video is turned off and my sound is turned off, I am doing a million other things whilst listening to the webinar. So one of the things I would like you to be doing is to make a design while we're talking, okay? So either have it up in another window on your laptop or desktop or whatever you're working on, or download the Canva app on your tablet or your phone. And I want you to actually go through the motion of some of the things that we're saying today. That way, at the end of this webinar, you're already on your journey and you're already steps ahead of where you were when we first started this. And that's huge, rather than writing notes and thinking, oh, I'll watch the video again, which, you know, more often than not, you may dip into it later. But if you're doing it right now while I'm talking to you, while I'm showing you how to do it, it's going to be a far more benefit to you. So create a design, okay? Your challenge is to create it and to share it when it's finished, and to tag myself, Lula Natural, and Karen Employflex for fun. You don't have to, but it'd be fun if you do. Or hashtag Lula Canva, so that everyone can have a little search of that hashtag on all of the different social media, and we can see what other people are doing, which is just, you know, a bit of fun, a bit of collaboration, and so that you feel like you're not the only one out there doing this. So stop waiting, take up the challenge. log in. Let's see where we're going, especially you lot that have never heard of Canva. So find it, Google it, find it, and set up your free account. So this is how I use it. Okay, so these are some of the ways. There are way more ways that you can use it. I use it for all my online content. So for example, I'm going through my trading online voucher at the moment, rehashing my website, actually getting someone else to do it for me this time, which is a new experience for me. However, I am still doing all of the visuals and all of the images and all of the videos that I want on my website, which is great. I'm getting someone else to manipulate what's in my head on the screen, but I've still got control over what people see. So I use Canva with my own images and with their stock images to create my online content as well. All my print content, so you can see here, I designed my business cards on Canva, lots of my worksheets, forms, posters, flyers, you know, it's really endless what you can do on here. Or anything that is from a design point of view, placards, anything like that. I've designed a lot of logos for events and for different aspects of what I do. As a naturopath, I also do a lot of fermenting. I've got a fermenting book that's published, and I do a lot of online fermenting classes. So I wanted to kind of have an identity, separate identity, fermenting made easy for that aspect. I do EFT, which is tapping. I've got an online course on Udemy, which is a teaching platform. So I had to create a logo for that. So that's my Tap to Heal logo. And then we did our International Women's Day Festival last year, and we're going to do something this year as well. So I've got a logo there for that. We were going to do Children's Day Festival, the Kinsale Health Hub. I collaborated with and designed the logo for that on Canva. And then my culture, Your Life is the name of my book. So, you know, like, and Inner Rainbow is my mindfulness course that I developed, and we did one for teens. So we just kind of tweaked it. All of those have been created on Canva. It's very, very simple to create a very quick logo for your events or for your company or your business. Or anything that you're doing, your products. So then online shopping as well. So when I wanted to sell my course, I wanted people to know they could use it on all the different platforms. So Canva has this really lovely element that I could manipulate there. And you can tweak your photos of your, you know, because you can upload your own photos in Canva and play around with them and adjust them and use filters on them, or put borders on them, or put prices on them. So you should be really using, you shouldn't just be throwing up photos, unedited photos onto your online shop, especially when it's so easy to quickly change them. So on social media, if you have a look at Lula Natural or Kinsale Health Hub, I do all of the social media for that. So all of the banners and all of the images on all of my social media have been designed and then downloaded and uploaded from Canva. Animations and videos, I've started to use more and more since they've become available on Canva. So, you know, lots of little videos that I've saved as GIFs or I've saved as MP4s. Because one of the things you'll learn about Canva is the ability to download the same thing in lots of different ways, which is really, really useful to use. I've also do marketing of my course. So Commit to You is a course that is running at the moment, which is about nutrition, workout, self-care. So we've done all of our marketing on that, and the stock images for the marketing for that have been absolutely invaluable. It's been amazing to be able to put some really cool images together for people to relate to and engage with. And then all of our PDFs, so recipes, downloadable content that are within courses, but also from a client perspective, I've got things that I can download and send to them to add value to my services. So then newsletters are often very dull and boring. So I like to jazz mine up with the images, the same images that you would see on my website. I tend to use, so that you kind of, when you click onto the website and you see the same thing, or you see it then on social media, you've got that link to me and you recognize it and you understand it. So from a sales perspective, the more that they see that image connected to you, the better, if you like. So I use images. And interesting, if you're using MailChimp, I don't know about the other newsletter providers, but MailChimp will only allow you to upload GIF files at the moment. So that's been really useful to create a little video and save it as a GIF. Almost all of my videos I save without sound, mainly because when I'm scrolling through social media, I don't like the sound. So I tend to use soundless. But there's an audio aspect to Canva that you can use now, which I'll tell you how I'm going to apply it in a bit. So then, of course, webinars, you're experiencing that right now. And any content for online classes or online courses, or of course content for your traditional PowerPoint as well. Like I said to Karen earlier, that this format of presentation is really, really great for webinars on Canva, but I think in-person presentations, I'd probably still use a more PowerPoint based presentation. That may change. I'm still playing with what it can do. You can, of course, download your webinars as a PowerPoint as well. But in the kind of transition, you just have to play with it a little bit more in PowerPoint to get it how you want it to look like. It's not seamless yet. So here's the slide for everyone sat on the fence. So free Canva is amazing and so useful. And I had a free Canva account for about 6 months. Way back when a lot of the free photos, the stock images were just a bit generic and weren't very exciting. They're a lot better. They have got a lot better, but of course they're incredible sales. I mean, the way that Canva has exploded in the last year is pretty incredible. So free is very good. It's really useful. It's great to use. You've got all the templates. You've got loads of great stock images. What I'd say is when you start to find yourself getting really frustrated that everything you want to use is in the pro category, that's when you can start to think about paying for it. And when you think about the price, I mean, I don't know if you've ever looked up stock images that you want to use. They can get really pricey really quickly, especially when you factor in stock videos and stock music. I mean, stock music is absolutely, I mean, and rightly so, don't get me wrong, musicians have created these things and people have created these things. They should get money from them. And Canva, of course, does all that for you. And so people get a lot more exposure by selling their images to Canva. So it's not like you're taking things from people, but I mean, seriously, the amount of quality stock images, videos, and now audio music that is available with your paid Canva account pays for the account in seconds. I mean, the account is 109.99 euros for us in Europe. I know there's a couple of UK people there, you'd have to check what it is in pounds. But that roughly equates, well, it does equate to €9.16 a month, which, you know, quite frankly, if you break that over a day, it's less than a cup of coffee. It really does. It really is worth paying for it because of what you get, which is why I said at the beginning, I don't get any money for you paying for it. But I really do think it's worth it. I think when you look at something that is also tax deductible at the end of the day, because this is for your business, this is a no-brainer to go ahead and press that button and pay for it, because a lot of the things that I'm going to be showing you from this slide on, you're only going to be able to do in the paid one, which is going to frustrate you a little bit. Okay, so give it a go with the free, play with the free, play with what I've been saying to you. And if you start to get frustrated that you can't do what I'm saying, then just know that for a little bit of money a month, I mean, pretty much everyone can afford $9.16 a month. You don't have to pay for it over the year. I do. It actually comes out on my birthday, which is random. So it's a little gift to myself for the last 5 years. Anyway, so it has an app. Okay, so hopefully you guys, when I said to you to do your challenge, you downloaded the app onto your phone and your tablet. When I was planning this course, which was only a week ago or so, I didn't like the phone app because you had to download all of the pages you'd created. You couldn't just select a page, which was really frustrating for me because I didn't want to have to download all of them all the time. Whereas they've changed that now. So the app actually looks a lot like the desktop there's a desktop app, but also I just use it through my browser. So you can access all of the designs you've already done and the templates that they have. So I've just chosen this old logo that I used to do just to show you. So you go into your design, you've got this little plus at the bottom, so you can add what you want, and they've added a lot. This has really changed over the last kind of month or so. I don't know when was the last time I used the app, but you can pretty much do everything you can. It's still a little bit clunky doing it on your phone, manipulating things. So it would be a kind of situation where you've got something, you've got something on your phone and you want to quickly put it on your social media, then it becomes easier to do. So then you've got your desktop here. This is what it looks like through your browser. Hopefully you've experienced that already, especially the few that have never seen Canva or didn't know what it was. So it's a little bit easier. There's a folders option, which comes in really useful to organize what you've got. And you can do all your brand kit, which you can't do on your phone. You can use your brand kit on your phone, but you have to create your brand kit then on the desktop. Okay, so that's how we can access it. So some of the basics that you need to have before you kind of delve into your sales and marketing and using Canva. Do you have your logo? Because if you don't, are you sat waiting or debating to get someone to design it? Maybe you think that you can't design it yourself. There are so many templates that you could just choose a template, change the colors, change the font, maybe rearrange something, add another element, and there you go, you have a brilliant logo. That's all I do to create my logos, is I look for inspiration through the templates. I choose something I quite like. I might make a few different pages and pull a few things that I quite like, and play with them, manipulate them, add elements to them. Sorry, I keep hitting my microphone. Add elements to them, change the colors, change the fonts until I'm kind of happy with them. So do you have a logo? If you're waiting for somebody to provide a logo for you, just have a play with even the logos. Go to the templates section of the Canva, choose company logo, scroll through those templates, choose a few, throw them over, play around with them, delete what you don't like. There's always the back button, don't forget, at the top, and the forward button. So if you do something and you're like, oh no, shoot, where'd that go? Or I really don't like that, I wish it was back to where it was at the beginning, just press that back button, and that's really useful as well. And then if you like something, I always duplicate the page, keep it up there, and then continue manipulating it on the next page. So you've still got the other one to refer back to. And that's kind of a little tip that I have. So do you have a company logo? Do you have colors? Now I'm just going to stop sharing my screen here, and I'm going to go to, oh no, I didn't want to stop sharing my screen. I wanted to stop I wanted to stop the presentation and go back to here. So what I wanted to show you was, if you are struggling with colors, okay, or if you're struggling with fonts, Canva actually has this really useful typography made easy. Okay, so you can select your starter font. So I always use a sans font. So you've got Open Sans, should come up in a second. I'll just choose one, Sanchez, we'll use Sanchez. So what this does is it uses the font that you liked, okay, and it will give you, Proxima Nova is an idea of how you could use a different font. So you want your title font and you want your text font. So if you're not very good at that kind of design aspect, you could just go through and it will do it for you, which is really, really useful. And then say you don't really know what colors you like. So there's all these lovely palettes of complementary colors that you can look at, and then they've got them. So you can choose, okay, this one's quite nice, Rosy Flamingo, I quite like that. So then it has the hex numbers here for you. So what you can do is you can have this open, and then you can just, when you're trying to change So if I go into a design, go back into my, so if I want to use this coffee pot color, it's quite nice. I'm just going to highlight, copy that, and then I'm going to select what I want to change the color of. So I'm going to change the background here to that coffee pot. I'm going to go to new color and see at the bottom there it has that hex number. I'm just going to paste, and there you go. You've got it. Okay, so that can be really useful way of using the colors and finding a palette that works for you. And that's not one of my branding colors, so I'm going to go back and keep it as my branding color. Okay, so there's a nice color combination one there, and there's a nice color wheel here. So this is all in the learn aspect here at the top in Canva. You just click on that and you go down to the bottom here, right at the bottom, and it has resources here. So that's really useful area to have open while you're doing your designs. So you've got your colors, you've got your fonts. You really don't have any excuse then to not be able to now set up your branding kit. Okay, so when you have, you have all of this in place, you don't have an excuse to not have this anymore. You can have this in seconds if you wanted to. That could be your challenge, just to do a logo for yourself. Just play. It doesn't matter if it's the perfect logo, just come up with something. It's a start. So then with your branding kit, okay, so you find your branding kit. Now this is where mainly, I'm pretty sure in the free section, you don't really have access to this brand kit. I find this ridiculously useful to use because it means I don't have to go searching for my logo images to insert them onto my designs anymore. I don't need to go searching for the hex codes of the colors on each new design because they're here. And I've set it up for the different aspects that I use a lot. So my Lula Natural colors are there, which have come from my logo. And I've got my fonts here that match. Kinsale Health Hub has a different palette. So I've got that there for anything that I do for that. And then the Commit to You course that I'm doing a lot of image creation for at the moment, I've got those colors right there as well. So that makes it really, really easy so that when I go into anything, look, they're right there for me. So I can choose them so quickly. And then they've gone on now to do this kind of any photo that you've got in there. They've also brought those colors in to help you as well, which is a really nice, handy bit of thing to do. And of course, these are the document colors that you've used already. So when I start a new design, those document colors will disappear. So if you like something and you're finding that you're using it a lot, I would take down the hex code of it to make it easier and shove it in your branding kit. So if you do have the paid version, go ahead and change your branding kit now while we're here, while we're doing this. So there's your branding kit, and that does make life a lot easier for then when you're doing anything. Okay, so you can have everything at your fingertips. So then when you're going to do your design, okay, so what is it that you're creating? Know what you're creating. If you're doing your social media post and you want to do one image that's going to pretty much harmonize across all of the different social media platforms, because each social media platform has a different size requirement for their image. And it's really a bugbear of mine when somebody's just shared something from somewhere else and it doesn't fit. Mainly Instagram doesn't fit, and so text is cut out, or half your head isn't there, or something vital like the time is cut out of there. And it really is so simple to A, resize your design, or B, just use one template for all. So I tend to use this square image because it's perfect for Instagram. And then from Instagram, it's perfect to share on all of the other social media. So from Instagram, you can share it straight to Facebook. And you can share it straight to Twitter. It works for Twitter, it works for LinkedIn, it works for everything. So I tend to do most of my designs in this box size. It makes it easier. But no, if you do want something that's specific to Twitter, there is a better size that will be shared better on Twitter and on LinkedIn as well. But Facebook and Instagram are pretty seamless because they want you to be sharing between them. They want you to share from Facebook to Instagram, Instagram to Facebook. So you need to know the size. A quick Google, or in that learn section in the resources at the bottom, it has all of the dimension sizes as well. But you could just quickly Google what size for banner image for LinkedIn, and it will give you the custom dimensions which you can add when you're starting your design. But you need to know that. You need to use your brand logo and the colors, and you need to try and be consistent in your designs so that they're recognizable. If you scroll through, particularly my Lula Natural, which is the one where I'm really I've got a good idea and plan about how I want it to look. If you scroll through that, you can see it looks fairly uniform. The colors are very dominant. So those dominant colors, you can see them in this, that pink, yellow, and green are running through, so that people can see, oh yeah, if people see those colors, hopefully they're going to identify that to me when they're scrolling through their feed. So try and keep them recognizable, even if you just keep it consistent for kind of 3, 6, 9 different images. And then if you don't like it, then you change. Try and keep it for another 9 images, because then you'll see what it looks like. On Facebook, it doesn't really matter so much, and neither on Twitter or LinkedIn. Really on Instagram, you're looking for the image of when people are scrolling, what does it look like? And that then, because when people then click on you and they think, oh, that's interesting, they look and they think, oh, that looks cool, I like the way that they've done that, or I don't like it. Just go for it. Just see, try and be consistent for a little bit longer than just 1 or 2 images, to see how you feel about something and to see what return it gets, what engagement you get, because we're all looking for engagement at the end of the day. And it goes so quickly, everything moves so quickly. So if you don't like something, don't worry, people have scrolled past already, and they're looking for the next thing. So don't worry if you don't like something, just go for it, and then change it on the next one. Don't sit and procrastinate on one image for weeks and weeks and weeks. Share it, see how it goes. If you didn't like it, if they didn't like it, change it, move on, but keep going. So here's a quick step-by-step. Hopefully this would be quite useful to some of you in the poll that said that you've not quite got your head around it. So like I said before, know what it is that you want to be creating. Know what it is that you want to do. Choose your template. So go up into, you can either choose a template that's there for you, or you can go into a design you've already made and adapt it. You can, or just go into the search bar there and just type in, like they've got, they've pretty much got a template for everything on there. I've kind of gone in and kind of played CV, yes, worksheets, yes. So there's a lot of planners, diaries, everything is on there. It's amazing. So just play with that. Go into the template, and then, so once you've chosen your template, then or your size, really, you can look at the templates, or you can just start with an empty background. Something that I've done here is I've gone into my folders and I've actually chosen the image, the starter image from this presentation, and I've used that. So I've gone in, I've thought I'm going to promote this class on Twitter. So I've gone in and I've selected a Twitter template. I've gone in and I didn't want a template. I wanted to use an image that you were going to recognize when you came in, which was the first banner image here, which said a bit about me. It said about what I was doing, and it displayed Canva. So I thought, perfect. So I went into folders on the left toolbar here. Okay, so you'll see there's folders, and I went to all my designs and I chose this presentation, and then I clicked on the slide that I wanted, and there it was. Okay, so because it's a similar size to the presentation slide size, it fit perfectly. I didn't need to manipulate it in any way. However, if that was one of my Instagram boxes, I would have had to move the elements and resize the elements to make it the shape that I wanted to, and you can easily do that too. So then you can add pictures to that, add frames, use the elements, the text, and play with that. So then I wanted to I wanted to move the text around, and I wanted to add Employflex logo to that as well. So I screenshotted Karen's logo. I uploaded it. This is me uploading it to my Canva. I just found the image that I'd screenshotted from her website. And I've uploaded that. Okay, so I'm crediting her, I'm not stealing it. So you can't just take someone's stuff, but you know, I'm using this to promote her. I wanted to put it into a frame because I wanted it to be circular. So I chose the circle frame there. And then I just drag over the image from my uploads to make it the size that I wanted. And you can just kind of adjust and crop to make sure it fits nicely. So then I put it where I wanted it. And then I wanted to jazz it up a little bit because I didn't want to say me again because my name is there. So I just wanted to add something that was going to drive the eye to me. So Employflex is quite bold against those colors. So I wanted to use something that was quite fun. So I found an animation, I'm putting and in there, and then I'm going to look for an animation then to drive the eye. Okay, so the animations are quite good because they drive the eye to what you want people to look at next. And they add an element of fun to them. They make it look a bit different as people are scrolling through just static images now. People are bored with. They want something moving, something that's going to attract them. It also means that when you put an animation onto your image, you have to download it as an MP4, and videos have more traction and more visibility than static images now as well. That'll change. So then I put that fun little animation on there. So now that I'm happy with my design, okay, you can download it, okay, as an MP4 and then upload it. But something fun that Canva have started doing now as well is they're allowing you to share directly to your social media. So I did download that just, you know, because that was what you would normally do. But then I was like, actually, I don't want to be bothered to then get that to Twitter somehow and log into Twitter. I'm just going to do it right here. You can put your text straight into Twitter. You just connect your account, put it straight in, add the hashtags that you want to add in, put whatever you want for that, press go. That's your social media done. Like that literally took me that time to talk about it, to have something on Twitter. And I didn't even have to redesign it. I just used something that I already had. So it makes it far faster to do that because I don't tend to use Twitter a lot. But now that I can share straight from Canva, whatever I'm doing, I can just throw that straight onto Twitter. Twitter's done. And I'll go back and look at the engagement and whatever later, but I don't have to log in and upload it and write the text and whatever. So yeah, so that's kind of the basics. I hope that that hasn't confused too many of you. Basically, choose the right size, okay? Add your elements to it. Make sure you add your logo, make sure you add your text, your images. Play with layout, play with animations, download it to the right format that you need to use it for. When you're using a static image for websites, you would tend to use a PNG, okay, which is just a better quality image. For your social media, you could use PNG or you could use JPEG, which is just, you know, it's just the image files. Okay, so that's a static image that you would use. If you're wanting to download it for something to print, so you want to send it to a printer, you want to put it onto Vistaprint or something, you would always download it as a PDF print. Okay, so if it's a downloadable or worksheet or form that you want someone to print, you would always print it as PDF print. If it's something that you just want someone to see on the computer, but you don't want them to be able to change it or manipulate it, you would just send it as a direct PDF. Okay, so you just download it as a PDF and send it to them. It might be a form that you want them to fill out, or it might be a presentation or a book, a PDF book, a free giveaway book that you might put together. I've done quite a lot of those as well. You save that as a PDF. If you want it to be a GIF, which is basically a very small file with no sound, so you can't have any sound on a GIF, okay? And it has to be really small. It'll tell you whether you can save it as a GIF or not. you choose that format, and that can be shared on any social media as well if you like. It registers as a GIF, so it might think it's a funny meme or something like that, so it might get a bit more traction. Or a PDF, sorry, not PDF, an MP4, which is a basic video download that you would download it for. There's a couple of others that they've added, which are vector images and stuff like that. I just don't even go near those. But those are the main ones that I use: a PDF print, PNG normally, GIF, and MP4. They're normally my go-tos. Download those, and then, or now what you can do as well is just log into, you just basically choose the format that you want. They'll ask you to log in. And then you just have to tick all the boxes that they can read everything and blah, 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 blah. I have nothing to hide, so I'm fine with all that, although I'm slightly uncomfortable with the data breach, but I want to be able to do this easily. So you log into your social media content and you share it straight from there. Okay, they're the basics. I'm going to spend a little bit of time now on videos. I know I'm conscious of the time. I want to kind of have some time for questions. Videos are very, very powerful though, and they're very, very easy to make and use on Canva. And I really want you to start playing with videos because they are so fun and easy. And even on the free, I'm pretty sure you can download as MP4. I might be wrong. Okay, so people have really short attention spans, and everyone's using videos. And videos at the moment are having on the algorithms of the social media. So when social media choose to share what it is and show people what it is you're doing, they choose videos over static images at the moment. They have all sorts of bots that know if they're an ad and all this kind of, I'm not going to go into that. Try and get into videos, okay? So it provides an ability to tell a story. If someone has to read a static image and there's so much information on it, you've lost them. But if they only have to read a few words and then that changes and it turns the page of the book really easy, and then they just read a few more words and then it changes it and you've got a little image which is nice that they can muse on as well, you've got people for longer. You've got a longer engagement. If you've got a longer engagement, then you've got more likelihood that they're going to then look at you further and recognize you and remember you and buy what it is that you're selling, okay? So there's two different ways I use videos. There are lots of different things you can do. So the first way here on the left is one that I did in literally, I did this in 10 minutes the other night. And you can see it, I shared it on my social media. So it's on Lula Natural right now. It was on my stories up until yesterday. So all of the images that you're seeing here are stock Canva images, okay? I did not record any of this, okay? All of this has come from the data bank of Canva, and I've played with it. So that I put a filter over the top of this. You can also edit the video, okay? So these were like kind of 20 seconds long, these videos. So I just edited them down to 5 seconds and added some text to them. And it's a very, there's a spelling mistake at the end there, which I'm too fast. I do things too fast. I don't check my work. So that picture of me is the only thing of me that I've added to that video. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly show you what I mean by storyboarding. Okay, so storyboarding is what I see this as. Okay, so each image that you saw was a page, and this page has a video that runs on the page. Okay, so the page runs for as long as the video runs. Now, if I wasn't using a video, if I was just using an image, a photo at the back there, which is why I'm saying that I think you can do this in free as well. As long as you can download it as an MP4 in free, you can do this. You just put a static image there and it will just flick through like a slide. Okay, so mine have videos on them, but they can also have, I've also done this one. So I've also done this one with static images. These are static images because I wanted to use a GIF as well. I've just done static images and it just scrolls through those videos as well. This one does have a video on it, but I kind of mixed and matched a little bit as well. This is when I was still playing. And then the second one that I that I showed you here. So this second one on the right then is slightly different. It's just my video in a frame that I've created with the text on it at the same time. So I did that here. So I did that just as a page, and then I downloaded just that page. Okay, so I selected just page 5, and I wanted just page 5 as an MP4 video. So that became a video in itself, and none of the other stuff showed up. Okay, so that's another really handy thing that you can do. You can make it in this. So I could package it with this page 2 and page 5, and then I could put the kind of call to arms at the back, and I can package it a little bit as well as a video, or I could just play it as a flat lay there. Okay, so I hope that kind of makes sense, and that's what I kind of want you to play with. When you are downloading things, you can select the page that you download. So for example, for this, I was creating this because I wanted this image here for my social media. It fit. If you scroll through my social media, you'll see this as just an image as on its own. So I downloaded that as a PNG there, and I only wanted page 1. I took out all the pages. I just want page 1. And done. I'm going to download that and share that image. Okay. After I've done that, I might want to use this image again, but suddenly it's a video. So then I'm going to use the same thing, create a couple more pages, and then I'm going to download page 1, page 2, page 3, and page 12. Okay. And I'm going to download that as an MP4. So I'm using the same things in many different ways, which is really, really simple, because then you've just got these things that you play with. I've got lots of different ways of using images. It's the same image there, but it's different text. I've popped my logo on the front there. I'm using my branding colors on the borders. I'm using my brand fonts all the time. Same fonts, same brand, same colors all the time. And doing it in different ways. So I wanted to then do it as a GIF. It was too big a file, so I then screenshotted the video and used it as a picture instead of a video. Okay, so I'm just playing. I'm just saying, okay, I can't save it as this file. I want it as this file. I want the same information on there. How do I get the same information on there as a GIF as I do on a video? So I just cut and paste it and play, and play with it in that way. Okay. So that's your videos. Okay, so then I just wanted to kind of show you after that the stock videos that they have for you to play with are remarkable. They really are. You can see how you can play with that for your podcast, right? You can play with this with an inspirational quote on the top, and you can use that as your Instagram story straight away. So it doesn't have to be you. Some of us don't like using videos because they think we have to be in the videos. We don't have to be in the videos. You can use stock videos and just use some text, throw your logo on there, and you've got a really interesting Instagram reel. Okay, which is something that they're sharing a lot of at the moment, and then it can go direct to your stories. It's the right size. It's nice to look at. People will engage with that. Take a little bit of time with it. You know, use whatever image there are. There's really so many stock images that you can play with that don't have to be you, especially if you don't want to be in front of the camera. So I just wanted to inspire you to have a look and to have a play with things. And all of these can be manipulated. Size can be manipulated. Filters can be thrown on them. Text can be put on top of them. Like, you can really make these your own. So what I wanted to do very, very quickly is, these are my kind of tips and tricks for you. So what I wanted to do is do this live for you. So play with layouts and sizes. So this little text here is really difficult to read. Okay. Now, a lot of the time when you come into templates, you're going to find that these group sections are really difficult to manipulate. Okay, so I want to make this bigger, but I don't want to make this bigger. I want to just make this bigger. So I'm just going to ungroup it. Okay, so I'm going to play with the size. I'm going to ungroup this so that I can make this text bigger. And I also don't want such a space in between them, so I'm going to bring them back. Okay, now I want to do that with all of the 4 of them, And it's going to be really tedious then to move them all. So I'm going to put that back. You just press your shift button and select both boxes. And I'm going to make that a group again, so I can now move that without having to move both. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move these to make them a little bit more interesting in their layout, just to make the eye find it better. There we go. And then I actually want to make all of these bigger. So I'm gonna select all of them and make them all bigger, keeping them in the same space. Okay. So that's how you play with layouts and sizes, and that's how you group and ungroup. And I find that really easy because I was finding that really annoying when I was moving things, especially when you're creating a logo. If you've got lots of different elements and you suddenly want to make it bigger and you have to make each part of it bigger, if you just press your shift button, group it all together, make sure you select each box so that then when you group them, when you stretch it, it stretches everything together. And then adding animations, they're always in the elements section. So what you can do is you can also filter. I only want animated arrows to come up because I want to use an animation. So I'm going to use this one because I want adding animations. That's what I'm talking. Oops. You just go back and make sure it's in the right place. Adding animations, I want that to really stand out. So I'm going to use a little arrow there so that you keep reading adding animations. Okay, so I'm manipulating you a little bit there. And then the last little tip that you may or may not have found, which I have found amazing, and I've used it all through this PowerPoint, you may not have even noticed. Okay, so I really like, I make kombucha, I do a lot of kombucha classes. I really like this glass of kombucha, and I want that to be in my my picture for social media. I want, I want people to think that I made this glass of kombucha and I'm really enjoying it. However, that background is not very recognizable as me. So I want to remove the background. So I go to Effects, and there's some little apps that you can connect yourself with, and background remover is so much fun. So I want to remove that background. I just have that cup of kombucha that I can now have there looking fabulous. Okay, so those are my kind of 4 tips that I wanted to share with you guys that have just made my Canva experience more fun. And I've used them all the way through this slide and my other slides. It was on that kombucha poster, that bottle of kombucha. See how, anyway, I would go in and edit that slightly. Now I've made it bigger. You can just go in and edit that just by pulling it across. Sorry, I keep pressing it. I would edit that slightly now that it's bigger. However, okay, like there is a design school within Canva, and it is really good. They've done a really good job. So go into the design school as well and play with it. And because what they do is they bring up slides that you then, it's a tutorial that you're actually doing there and then, which is really a great way to demystify how to do things and to just give you confidence and know-how. So I've got another little poll here that I just wanted to share with you now. How do you feel now? Did you know all of this? Is this new stuff to you? Was it helpful? Do you feel, the main one is feel motivated to have a go. That's the main one I want to get across today, is that you guys just play, just go for it. What's the worst that can happen? And you're going to have this video to come back to, and you can get in touch with me or Karen and have some business support there. So I'm really pleased that 64% of you have really felt motivated to give this a go. That's absolutely my end game for this, so that's great. So let's look at these questions. So I'm going to have a look. Okay, so first question, how to write an original on Canva, e.g. a testimonial. I would keep it simple. I would have a color background and maybe some speech marks. and I would just choose my font that relates to my brand. Maybe a script font, so it looks like someone's written it, is often nice in a testimonial, but something you can read. Those script fonts are sometimes are really awful because you can't read them. And then I would maybe, I'd always put the name, if I'd ask permission to put the name, but I would, you know, put the name or the initials of the person that's made that testimonial, and then I would save that and share it how I needed to use it. The free version is it's absolutely sufficient. It depends on what you want it for. It depends on whether you want to really I would use the free version until you get annoyed. Like I said, until you get annoyed that everything you want is pro, then you'd pay for it. But absolutely use the free session to begin with. So that's the same answer for there. RE social media posts, do you have to use their suggested templates? I would, no, of course you don't. You can use a blank one. So you can choose blank template. So they are interchangeable, because what you can do in the paid version is you can resize. So you can copy and resize. So you can, if you've got something that you've made for LinkedIn and you want to then make it Instagram size, you just click at the top and you choose the sizes that you want to resize it as. You might want it as an A4 poster. So it then puts it the right size, and then you have to remanipulate the elements to look nice again. So there is a little bit of work in that, but yes, you can do it. Is there any copyright on Canva logos? No. So you can use it as it is, although you wouldn't. It's very rare that what's on there is going to be exactly the same as yours. But you can keep it as it is, change your company name, and you go ahead and use that. Absolutely, there's no copyright. That's one of the nice things about Canva, is that you've, especially in the paid version. That's why all the free version, on the free version, you can find those images elsewhere for free. So that's kind of the free version. You're using images, you can use those for free with no issue. When you're using the pro one, the reason there's a price attached to them is because the person that took those images, that holds the rights to those images, you're paying them for that through your pro subscription, because Canva are paying them as it's being used. Okay, and as the free version, you can add the pro elements, but you need to pay for them. I think that they used to be like £1 or something, or there used to be something that you could do. I can't remember. It's been so long since I've had a pro account, to be honest. I can't really remember. How much time do you recommend planning your social media content a month? Oh, geez, that's a question. I just fly by the seat of my pants. What I tend to do is I'll do 20 or 30 quotes. So I'll go online and I'll find 20 quotes, and I'll do each different page, and I'll put the quote in, and I'll find a picture to match it. And it's got the same border, the same font, and I'll just do 20 of them and download them, and I'll upload them to my Google Drive. So I have them in a folder. So then when I want to use them, I just go to my Google Drive, select it, copy it to the social media I want it to do, and use it. So I tend to plan maybe once or twice a month. I'll spend an hour or 2 hours doing my social media content, and I'll do lots of it. And then I'll just use that to then share over time. I also do things as and when they become necessary as well. But that's not really the point of this course. So when using the scheduler on Canva, it's not giving me the option to share to Instagram. So Instagram is slightly different. They're not playing with Canva so nicely at the moment. Twitter seems to be the nicest to play with. Instagram, I think they're still ironing out some bugs with that. So keep checking in with that. That might be resolved in the future. I want to make a frame for Instagram stories with a transparent center so I can overlay it for my stories when speaking online. Oh, well, I bet if you put in Instagram stories template, you can do that, because remember, there's the option when you download to have transparent. So like, for example, your logo, if you download it with a transparent background, you just get the logo image, you don't get the white behind it. So when you create your border, you just save it as a JPEG, I guess, with a transparent border. I would play with that. I haven't done it. What I would do is I would instead design my stories with that banner behind it. So I would upload my video that I've recorded in my stories, and then bring it over to my template, put the border in, and then download it as an MP4 and then upload it to my Instagram stories as a video, if that makes sense. So I don't do any of the manipulation in Instagram. I've done all the manipulation in Canva, and then I'm just uploading it as a video that you just recorded from your phone, if that makes sense to you. Can Canva and WordPress merge together? Is that a question? That's not something I can answer. But I mean, you just download and upload to WordPress. So all the media library, you can put everything in there. And Canva downloads things that are quite small, images and videos. So it's quite easy to download from Canva and then upload to your WordPress. Can you explain how to upload fonts again, ones that are not in Canva? I didn't go through that because I've never done that. I've never had to. I've always just used the fonts that are in Canva. That would be something that I would go to the design school for Canva. If you want to learn how to upload fonts, go into the design school and tap in, how do I upload my own font into Canva? And there will definitely be something there for you. My established logo requires the pro version. No, you can upload your logo as an image and then download it as a JPEG and use it within your pictures. I'm pretty sure you can upload your own images in the free version. So play with it, have a go. If you insert an element, how do you change the background color on the free version? You just go on the left-hand side of your Canva. There's backgrounds. It selects backgrounds. So you can just select that color. So you can change that on the free background. So on the left-hand side, maybe scroll up on the left-hand side, it should come up to backgrounds, which is like a kind of hash. You should find it on there and you can change the color then. It takes too long. Fair enough. Okay, so how do you insert a graphic into a logo in templates? Okay, so if you have your logo already, you would need to upload it in your uploads and use it as your image. So if you have your logo should be saved as a JPEG or a PNG. You would go to upload section on the left-hand side. You would upload that image, find it in your computer, upload that image, and then you're free to go ahead and use it. Or you can put it in in your brand kit as well. Okay, so just creating my logo for my hypothetical business, never have been on Canva before. Excellent. Please tag me in that. I'd love to see it. That's really cool. And okay, so I think I've answered everything. That was really cool, guys. Thank you so much for your input and your questions. And please feel free to get in touch with me. Find me on my various, I'm on Twitter as well, but like you see, I don't use it a lot. So I put LinkedIn in there as well, but I am on Twitter. I'm also on Pinterest and YouTube. And my website's lulanatural.com and then kinsalehealthhub.com as well. And you can email me at louise@lulanatural.com. And you can see me online if you have any business mentoring questions or if you have any natural health questions, because of course my day job is a naturopath and nutritional therapist as well. So thank you guys for that, and have a look at the video on YouTube, and please get in touch, and please tag me and Karen in your images that you created today, or use the hashtag LulaCanva. I'm Lula Natural, Karen is Employflex. So thank you so much for that, and good luck. Go for it.
Super. Thanks a million for that. If you can just stop sharing there for a second, Louise.
Yeah.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah. That was really fantastic, Louise. I learned so much myself, and I'm on Canva every day, and I just learned so much there. I'll definitely be upgrading to the
it's totally worth it. Totally.
Yeah. And just one question: is everything free on the Pro account there? Do you actually have to pay for anything?
No, nothing. Once you pay your 109, you use everything. Everything is there for you to use. Okay. So it's a no-brainer, really. Yeah. It certainly does make sense. All right. Yeah. I love the bit about, don't procrastinate, just play around with it. If it doesn't work, just try something else. Like as you say, on social media, things don't last that long anyway. People aren't going to be looking at it for too long anyway. No, I mean, if you scroll through my Instagram, there's some right messes on there, you know, but you know what, that makes you real and it makes you authentic. And so I'm not going to delete them because they're actually for your SEO, that's not good to delete them. I prefer people to scroll through and see my progression and show that I'm a normal human being than to be perfect, you know.
Fantastic. Well, you're a mine of information, Louise, and you certainly know your subject, Canva. And so thank you so much for giving your time here today. And there was a huge attendance here today. And we will be putting the recording on YouTube. So if you were having trouble keeping up with Louise, or if you want to look back on anything, you can look back at it there. So we're putting that up as soon as we download the recording. And just to let everybody know that next week we're going back to Zoom side chats. We're having a chat with Joy Brown from Vanilla Boutique in Fermoy, and she's going to be coming on to tell us how she did it and became a successful boutique owner with her sister there in Fermoy. So again, a huge thanks to Louise, and see you all here again next week, maybe. Bye. Thanks, Louise.
No worries.